Welcome back to Big Muzz Gaming, and the weeks are counting down here in Football America. We're now at week 11 for the 2000 season's Game of the Week. From an Ivy League school comes some Major League football. We're expecting another sellout here at Franklin Field as East Divisions 2 and 3 look to best each other for the postseason. It's the Philadelphia Bells hosting the New York Knights. In the Football America Power Rankings, Orlando keeps a hold of the top spot for the fourth consecutive week, while Portland gains some ground to move up to number 2. Vegas continues its climb and is now in third, while Philadelphia, thanks to tying Chicago, fell to fourth. St. Louis, still hoping to stay in the playoff hunt, though, will round out the top 5. On the injury report this week, Houston will get Daniel Ottman back next week, while Philly will look forward to a returning Robert Gary. However, they will be without Darwin Reed this week, who re-aggravated his injury last week against Chicago. He'll be out this week as a precautionary measure. Houston also had an injury last week during their game against St. Louis. Tight end Martin Locklear pulled a hamstring, so he will be out of action until the postseason. While the update on Los Angeles left tackle Sidney Abramowitz, who got hurt in our coverage last week against Vegas, he was evaluated for a sore back and will take this week off to rest and recover. Now for your headlines this week for Football America. The continuing story is the struggles in Seattle, but owners are remaining optimistic despite struggling with payroll as they, quote, keep the lights on, end quote. Washington receiver Alonzo Allen is seeing improvements in the passing game in practice. Cincinnati right guard Dakota Rosado was cited for simple assault, but he has agreed to undergo community service in lieu of jail time. A bizarre injury in Washington for left tackle Brandon Kelly, who crushed his hand at home while working on some home improvements. He's going to be out for the remainder of the season. Our two combatants were also in the news this week. Philly corner Marcus Hendricks has been showing some signs of decline as a pass defender. Linebacker Frank Smalls was fined for an obscene gesture he made at a Chicago player last week. And New York linebacker Kyle Dodge was also fined for an illegal hit he made on a Cincinnati player. Now let's take a closer look at these two with our Girth Watch tale of the tape. The main quarterback between the two so far is Gavin Zamberlin, a better passer rating, better passing yards per game, and when looking at touchdowns to interceptions, he has Musa May's beat handily. These two defenses, though, are both very similar in yards allowed, though. Philadelphia does give up fewer points than New York, but the Knights have the advantage in takeaways. Even though they're both in the negatives, the Knights have a 6-turnover advantage over Philly. And this game will be a rematch of their showdown in Week 3 that New York won in convincing fashion, 32-7, thanks in part to a super efficient offense that scored 2 out of 3 times they had the ball, and in part to Philadelphia losing a fumble and throwing 2 interceptions. New York looks poised to reestablish itself in the playoff hunt, but Philly has the heart and the home field. Let's see how it all shakes out as we get this one underway. It's the Philadelphia Bells and the New York Knights. All right, let's get this game underway. Sold out crowd at Franklin Field. It'll be Philadelphia winning the toss, and they will receive. So they'll bring it out, and it'll come out to their third zone. All right, we are starting off with a run versus the pass. It'll be 52. At least one defensive lineman rated run 2. No, there are at least one, so it's a gain of 1. All right, we got tendency versus the blitz. They are going to run it. So they get 43. 4 more players rated run 0 on the offense. They've got 1. Tolbedo, so that's 2. So they only have 2, so that's not going to hit, so that will be a gain. 4 will make it 2 zones, and they're inside New York territory. All right, we've got a throw against a safe defense. Shake things up a bit. 46. Any player on the defensive line with a 2 pass? No. Courtney's the only one who's got anything, and it's a 1. So that won't hit. Y greater than 8? Nope, so it'll be incomplete. 4th down coming up. We will hit the field goal for Ralph O'Hallahan. It's going to be from 36 and 6, so 5. 20-25, so it'll be a 32-yard attempt. From this range, O'Hallahan is a quad A, so he's pretty good. So 11-63 will boot it up through the uprights. On its way, And it's good. First points go to Philly. New York's drive will bring them out to their second zone. All right, so let's see how the Knights respond with their drive. They're going to start with a pass versus a pass defense. 41, any tight end or wide receiver with a 2 pass? Yes, Taylor Scott has it, so that is complete. And that'll be good for 2. All right, this is another pass versus pass. 56, any DB with a 0 pass? No, everyone's a 1. Is Y greater than 3? Zamberlin's a 5, so it's intercepted.
Yoink. Yoink.
And that will be picked off 2 zones ahead inside Philadelphia's 35-yard line. Who made the grab there? That's defender 9. It's going to be player D, and that's going to be picked off by Mark Guyton. Just about halfway through the first here. We're going to have a run versus run. Philly sticking to what they do best. 42. 2 more players rated run 0 in the backfield. If they had one, it would just be Thibodeau, so that is a no. So that's a gain. And it's just going to be for 1. All right, we've got a pass versus run defense. 61, 2 or more DBs rated 2. No, so they're not there, so it'll be complete. This could be some big yards. It will be an XP result. 3 marks at 4 zones, and they're now inside the 10. Here we go, goal to go. They are going to audible. They are passing against the blitz. 15 is the grade B or better for the completion. Yes, it is. That puts it into the end zone. Touchdown, Bells. All right, extra point coming from O'Hallahan is up and through, and it's now a 10-0 game. Return for New York here will come out to the second zone. All right, 3 minutes to go here in the first quarter. They're going to audible against a safe defense. It'll be a pass. 11 is... Oh, we're checking the Y grade of Zamberlin. Is it greater than 5? No, it is equal to 5, so that will be complete. Good for an XP gain. 2 will give us 3 zones. Puts us across Philadelphia territory. And they're going to run versus a safe defense. 24. 2 more players rated run 2 in the backfield. Nope, that's not happening there. No gain. Possible fumble. Let's see if the ball came out. It did not. And it will be 4th down. So 4th down coming up. They are a bit too far to try the field goal, so we're just going to have to punt it. We got an O result. 3, and that'll put it 2 zones, so they brought it out from the end zone, and it'll be Philly ball inside the 20. All right, start of the second quarter, and Philly's going to run against a blitz. 13 is runner double A or better. No one's double A, so no gain, and 4th down coming up. So almost a quick 3 and out here as Philly will punt, and it will get 3 zones, and New York will be just inside the 50. All right, starting this drive for the Knights, they're going to run it against a safe defense. 15 is runner B or better. Well, let's see who it's going to. 19, that's going to be Mack. He is not a B on any side, so that is going to be no gain, but it will be 3rd down. Chance for another go here for the Knights. They're going to go tendency, which they are a pass tendency, so it's automatically a throw. It'll be against a safe defense. 65, 2 or more linebackers rated 0 pass. Winston is, and Frank Smalls is, so they do have the 2. That's going to hit, so to be complete. And that's good for 2 more zones, and they're inside Philadelphia's 35. All right, audible here against a pass defense. They're going to run it. Kind of snuffing out the D here from Philly. 66, 2 more defensive backs with a run 0. Yeah, Hendricks and Guyton are both zeros on the run, so that'll give us an XR gain of the minimum of 3. That puts it into the end zone. New York gets a touchdown. And Clendenin to kick the extra point. It is up and good, and it's back to a 3-point deficit. All right, the return here for Philly will set them up into their second zone. Next drive for the Bells, they're going to go tendency. They are going to throw it against the pass defense. 61, 2 more DBs rated 0 pass. Nope, they've only got the 1. Is Y greater than 2? Yes, it's intercepted!
I'll steal it! No one will ever know!
This is going to get picked off. 2 zones ahead inside Philadelphia territory. New York's going to have great field position. Who made that grab? Player B, and that's going to be picked off by Hunter Allen. All right, New York with a chance to tie or take the lead. It will be a pass versus the run. Caught a little off guard here. It's a 61. 2 more DBs rated 2 pass. They are not, so it will be completed. 3 is an XP gain, and 3 or more here will put it into the end zone. And they got it! Touchdown Knights! Touchdown! Extra point from Clendenin is good, and New York is now up 14-10. So now with Philly down by 4, they'll return it out to their third zone. All right, they're going to have a pass. First is a pass defense. 36. Ooh, a defensive penalty sustains the drive, and they'll move down the field.
Flag.
Can Philadelphia exploit the mistake? They're going to audible against the blitz. They're going to run it. So we got here 23. 2 more players ready to run. 2 on the offensive line. Yes, they have Simon Scribner and Michael Long, so it'll hit, and it's a gain. And it'll be good for 2 zones. Philly's starting to rally now. It'll be tendency versus safe, and they are going to run it. So you get 66. 2 or more defensive backs with a run 0. Yeah, Young and Glenn are both 0, so that'll hit, and it's a gain. 5 is a gain of 2, and that puts them inside the 10. Now with goal to go, tendency against the blitz, they will run it. See if they can punch it in on the ground. 63 is the home team on offense. Yes, they are. Into the end zone. Touchdown, Philly. And the extra point from O'Hallahan is more than good. And that puts Philly back on top. It is 17-14. All right, 2 minutes to go here in the half. Let's see how New York will set up. They're going to go to their second zone. Minute and a half to go in the half here. It'll be pass versus safe. So we got 65. 2 or more linebackers rated 0 pass. Yeah, they got it's Winston and Smalls again because they're not in the pass set. So that will be completed. And that's good for 2 zones. Puts them just outside midfield. 2 segments left here in the half. It's going to be an audible versus safe. They're going to run it. 43. 4 more players rated run 0 on the offense. They got 1, 2, 3. Yeah, they do. So quick penetration for no gain. And that's going to bring up 4th down. So 4th down with 1 segment left. They can't do the long kick because this is outside of Max Clendenin's range. So I think they're just going to have to go for it. Worst case scenario, maybe points go the other way, but I think they got to take a shot. So it will be pass versus pass. 13. Is completion rate D or better? Yes, it is. So it will be complete. We are going to have to review it, but let's see how far it goes. It's only going to be 1 zone. And the review will say it's incomplete. So the run after the catch doesn't do anything. So incomplete pass, and that's the way the first half will come to a close. Both teams have scored off turnovers. Both teams have 240 yards of offense. Both teams need this win more than anything. It's going to be a matter of who wants it more. A tight one here between two similar teams as we go to the halftime break with Philadelphia up by 3. While these teams are planning out the second half, let's recap the rest of Week 11. There weren't many people in the stands for the home opener for the now Seattle Seals, but those in attendance did see a team looking to establish itself in the long run. Both Brayden Davis for St. Louis and Matthew Kelly for Seattle had passer ratings over 100, and despite nearly 450 yards passing from Davis, it was St. Louis ball control that kept them from scoring, losing 3 fumbles over the course of the game. Seals silenced the Gunners in this one, 31-19. If what happened in Houston is a preview of the postseason, Houston's going to need to rethink their game plan quickly. Portland's defense managed to create 3 picks and 2 sacks, with the Alphas scoring 20 points off of 4 turnovers. Portland led it from the opening drive through to the final gun. They beat the Drillers 35-20. We had a fun one in Vegas with the Riders and Outlaws. San Antonio had a 27-10 lead going into the fourth quarter, and Vegas managed to make a run for it. 2 touchdown passes made it a 3-point game, but the Riders got it back to 10 with a Stan Stamps run for a score. Vegas would then go on a 6-play, 51-yard drive to get it back to 3. Got the Riders to go 3 and out, but with less than a minute to go, driving down the field, Brandon Mass threw a pick to Eric Patterson to seal the game for San Antonio. They lock up the Outlaws 34-31. Colby O'Connell made his return to Chicago to a near full house, but the rust was definitely showing. While he did throw for over 300 yards, the 3 picks and no touchdowns were the big blemish on his record, the biggest being a Taylor Songy 103-yard pick 6. The Federals would have a 23-0 lead at the half, and it would be too much for the Flames to bear. They get snuffed out by Washington 30-16. Then finally, Cincinnati had a bright spot to their week, a sizable showout at Nippert Stadium. Unfortunately, that would be the only bright spot for the Hogs. They would be down 17-1 at the half, and with the Suns scoring 17 in the fourth, there was no way for Cincinnati to make any effort to get it close. LA shines through in Ohio, 37-17. The East leading Orlando Apollos were off this week, and they're watching this game closely as New York is their opponent next week, and they'll need to know their playoff situation coming into that game. But this game is only halfway over. Second half of this close contest coming up after the break. Monday Night Football and Football America are brought to you this week by Biddy Beer, the official beer of Football America. Biddy Beer, Biddy prices for nearly 100 years. By Pro Grip Power Tools. For your next DIY project, get your hands around a Pro Grip. And by Dot Cola. This election, whether you choose classic, diet, or cherry, Dot always hits the spot. 3-point game here in Philadelphia as we're about to start the second half. Remember, you can click the link in the description below to get your own copy of Football America's 2000 season to follow along with us. And if you have second season at home, you can even replay this game or the entire 2000 season. All right, New York to get the ball to start the second half. Good tight game here in Philly, and they are going to start things off in their second zone. All right, we are starting with a run versus a safe defense. 22 is the home team on defense? Yes, they are. They'll get a stop on third down, force them to punt. So quick 3 and out for New York, and we got an O result. We're going to get a 4 zones, so Philly takes it inside their own 35. See, their first drive of the half, they're going to audible. It'll be a pass versus the blitz. So 42, any tight end or wide receiver with a 0 pass. Everyone is good. Yeah, we're not. They're on their own side of the field, so it's good, and it'll be complete. He's going to a questionable catcher, so let's see who it's going to be thrown to. Number 2, it's to Mullins, who is not questionable, or Hamilton, who is questionable. So we got to roll a decider die. If a dot comes up, it's going to be incomplete. Oh, it is! Hamilton drops it, so it's incomplete, and it'll be 4th down. So the drop from Hamilton forces Philly to punt. And they'll take it 2 zones. New York will just get it outside their own 50. All right, New York will go with a run against the blitz. 46, 2 or more linebackers rated run 2. Nope, they do not have that. So it's a gain of 2 zones. And now they're inside Philly's 35. New York trying to take back the lead. They're going to audible. It will be a pass versus safe. 33. Any player in the backfield with a 0 pass? Nope, everyone's a 1, so that's going to be complete. But they'll only get 1 zone, but they're inside the Bell's red zone. All right, we got tendency against safe. They are a pass tendency for the Knights. They are -2, so still on the pass here. 56. Any DB with a 0 pass? No, everyone is a 1. Is White greater than 3? Yes, it's intercepted.
Yoink! Hey!
And it's going to get picked off 1 zone ahead inside the 10-yard line, but Philly gets it away before New York could score. Who made the grab there? That is defender 2. It's going to be player A, and that's Marcus Hendricks making the grab. Second pick of the day for Zamberlin, and Philly's got a chance to move all the way down the field. They're going to pass on their audible against a safe defense. 35. 2 or more wide receivers or tight ends with a 2 pass. They don't have any of that, so it'll be incomplete, but third down is coming up. All right, we got a run versus a safe defense. 44. 2 or more players ready to run 2 on the defensive line. No, they don't have that there, so it's a gain of 2. It gets them out of the danger zone. It puts them just outside the 35. So we're now in the 5-minute mark here in the third quarter. It's going to be a pass versus a pass defense. 54. Home team on offense? Yes, they are. So it's complete. 5 will give us 3 zones, and they're now in New York territory. Bills with a chance to extend the lead off the turnover. It'll be a run versus safe. 43. 4 more players rated run 0 on the offense. They got 1, 2. So it looks like they just have the 2, so that will not hit. It's a gain. 6 is XR. Minimum of 3 zones there, and it's into the end zone. Touchdown, Bells. The extra point from O'Hallahan is good. It's now 24-14, Bells on top. So let's see the kick return from New York. They will start in their second zone. A couple minutes left here in the third. It'll be a run versus the pass. 14 is runner A or better. Let's see who it goes to. Runner 13 is Otis on the inside. He's an E. That doesn't hit. Templeton on the outside is a D, so that's not going to hit. So no gains on that play, but it will be third down. Have a chance to convert here before the quarter ends. It'll be an audible. And they are going to throw against a pass defense. 43. 2 or more wide receivers or tight ends with 0. Nope, everyone's a 1 or a 2, so it's incomplete, and it'll be fourth down to start the fourth. So New York is going to have to punt this away. And it's going to go 4 zones. So Philadelphia will pick it up inside their own 35. 10-point lead for the Bells. They got to see if they can hold on to it or maybe even extend it. They're going to throw against a run defense. 42. Any tight end or wide receiver with a 0 pass. No, it's good there. It's complete with a questionable catch. Who is it going to go to? 4. It's Mullins or Hamilton again, so we have to roll another decide or die. See if it goes. Does it go to Hamilton? It does! That's his second drop of the game, and it's incomplete. So another drop from Hamilton forces the Bells to punt, and it's only going to go 2 zones. New York will start inside the 50. Can the Knights exploit the mistake from Lee Hamilton? It'll be a run versus safe. So they get 24. 2 or more players ready to run 2 in the backfield. That's not going to hit. There's no gain. We have to see if the ball popped out. It did not. So it will now be 4th down. So to Philly's relief, the dropped pass does nothing as they are forced to punt. Philadelphia will take over inside the 20. All right, we're going to have a run versus run. Not a bad idea here, just to go to the run game and wind down the clock. 42. 2 or more players rated run 0 in the backfield. Nope, they've got Goodman. Thibodeau would probably be the only one there, so that's they only have 1, so that's a no, and it's a gain. And they will get 1 zone. All right, this will be a pass versus a run defense. 34. 2 or more players in the offensive backfield with a 0. No, so that is going to be complete. And it'll get 2 zones, and they cross midfield. All right, we got an audible coming up. And it'll be a pass versus safe. 52. 2 or more players on the defensive line rated 0 pass. Yes, both the defensive ends for New York are 0 passes. So that will mean it is complete. 4 makes it 3 zones, and they're inside the 10. Chance to score and extend the lead. It'll be a pass versus the blitz. 35. 2 or more wide receivers are tight ends with a 2 pass. They do not. It is incomplete, but we are going to go to a review to see if the ball was caught. 54 or higher. We'll put it through. The review is in. It's complete! Touchdown, Philadelphia! And the extra point puts it up and through. It will now be 31-14. So New York will get the football on this segment, but we are going to go to full play right after. So we're going to go to zone 3. All right, so after the kickoff segment, we're now into the 5-minute mark. We're going into full play. We are setting things up with 2nd and 12 for New York on their own 21-yard line. Everyone's got all 3 timeouts. So 17-point deficit here. They're going to have to go into the long pass playbook for New York to have a chance to make a comeback. So let's see what the Knights can do. They are going to start with a long pass against the pass. Let's see what we get. 13. Zamberlin with a B grade. It's going to be good for 2 dice. So it will be completed over to Thompson. That is Ryan Thompson with the grab. And it'll be complete for 7. So that will bring up 3rd and 5. Yeah, 3rd down and 5. The situation still calls for a C play. All right, they're going to go long versus pass. Same setup. 65. Does H have a 0 pass? No. Vincent Maxwell is a 2. And Zamberlin is going to be dragged down for a 13-yard sack.
Too bad your ass got sacked.
Who grabbed that one? That's player 11. Defender H. And that's Maxwell doing it himself. Bringing down Zamberlin for the loss. So 4 minutes to go. They're too far back to try and go for it here. It's 4th and 18. They're going to have to punt it and try and do something on defense to pin Philadelphia back here. So they will bring out Ryan Giancanelli to kick this away. So let's see how it does here. 43. It's an average punt. It will be returnable. So Giancanelli's a 37-yard punt. 37, so it'll be taken at the 48-yard line of Philadelphia. It's going to be returned by Marcus Hendricks. And let's see how far his return's going to take it. 44, it's just the full return, so to bring it down 11 yards back into New York territory. So the return got up to the 41-yard line of New York. It'll be 1st and 10 there for Philly. They've got a very comfortable lead right now. They're in situation D the rest of the way here right now, so all they have to do is just run the football. And, oh, they're going to trick it up with a medium pass, but New York kind of catching it. They're going to play safe. See that we have the throw here. 31's the center or left tackle a zero pass? Yes. So that means that Musa Mays is going to be sacked for a loss of 10.
I eat quarterback for breakfast.
He makes the sack there. That is going to be defender I. And that's going to be Ethan Rogers on the line making the sack. So the sack pushes them back in their own territory. Now 2nd and 20. Still in the run set. So they're going to go outside versus the run. And this will be an outside run for Diego Goodman. So 26 is TB or EB. Have a run of 0. So Mullins is a 2. So he's a good blocking receiver. So he's good. And Mike Perino, the right tackle, is good. So none of them are 0. So hit by 3 defenders and gets a 4-yard gain out of it. And it'll be 3rd down. And New York will take their first time out. All right, 3rd down and 17. Still in situation D. They're going to go inside versus the run. This will be an inside run for, it would be for Darwin Reed, but he is still out with injury. So that is actually going to go to Sal Thibodeau, who's going to be doing some extra run duties. 26, does G or K have a run 0? K does not. Oh, but G does. Brandon Wynn blows it. He chokes it, so that means he will have a 0. There's no play and encroachment on the defense. We're going to get a 5-yard penalty.
Flag.
So after we messed up the spot a little bit, but it wasn't the right spot on the field, but not on the screen. So it was actually 3rd and 16 the last play. So this will now be 3rd and 11 from the 42. So another inside run. This will be against the blitz. See, 61, does F have a run of 2? He does not. Does FB have a 0 run? Who's it going to? 18? It's Thibodeau. He does have a 0 run, so it's only going to be 1 die, and that's going to be for 2 yards. So that will be the 2nd timeout for New York. So that now brings us to 4th and 9. Philly is probably going to be in field goal range here for Ralph O'Hallahan. It would be a 47-yard attempt. Yeah, this is pretty much in his range. So if they knock this through, that'll be beyond 2 scores, and we'll go back to Express for will probably be the rest of the game. So to potentially ice it, he needs 56 or less to put it through. Kick on its way. It's good, and we are now at a 2-score lead, 34-14.
And there is your dagger.
With 2.5 left to go in the game, New York was able to cross midfield, but a strip sack by Deshaun Winston got the ball back in Philadelphia's hands. They would kneel down the rest of the way, and they win this one 34-14. Your Biddy Beer player of the game this week goes to Bell's quarterback Musa Mays, who had the best performance on the field, going 24 for 40 with 350 yards, 2 scores, and a pick. That gave him a 94.8 passer rating. The win now puts Philadelphia within 1 point of Orlando in the East Division title hunt. New York and Chicago are 5 points back, but with 6 available, they're still in the race. But they're going to need significant help if they want to keep their dreams alive. In the West, Portland now takes the top spot, but it's a 1-point difference between the Alphas, Drillers, and Outlaws with 2 games to go. St. Louis unfortunately doesn't have enough to keep up, so they have been eliminated from contention. So next week is when crunch time begins, and we'll have 2 outside teams looking to keep themselves in the race. Las Vegas will be in Chicago. Winner stays alive, loser is out. Remember to give the video a like, give the channel a sub, and share it out with your other tabletop gaming friends, and even your enemies if you're into that. Until next time, this is Big Muzz reminding you as always to play well, play fair, but most importantly,